If we go right back to your beginnings, you're a working class lad,
Yes.
didn't go to university,
No.
didn't want to go to university, I believe, and you became an ad man.
Yes.
Was that because, you know, the British film industry was very poor at that time and that was all you could, or did you have no idea that you were going to be a film director?
No, I had no real aspirations to be a film director, if I was honest. What I always wanted to do was write. In fact, for years in my passport, I never had film director. I always had writer, which I thought was much more sort of legitimate profession than being a film director. You know, I started in advertising. I didn't go to university because my parents wouldn't let me go. And, you know, my father thought that I'd stayed in school long enough and that you get a proper job. And so, you know, and I wanted to go to art school more than anything, and that was forbidden. So I went into advertising, and I actually became a writer in advertising. And I was, in a couple of years, I was quite successful at it. So in a way, that was my university. You know, I didn't spend luxurious time at university, but I got a good start with regards to a proper career. And when it came to directing publicity films, commercials, we did that, not just myself, but there were other directors like Ridley Scott and Hugh Hudson and Tony Scott, who, there was such a depressed film industry, people forget how hard it was to make any kind of film, that we started to do commercials because they were, for me, not going to film school, they became my film school, really. I was directing every week, doing a TV commercial, and you learn about the technique of film. You don't necessarily learn about the art of telling a story in 2 hours, because everything's 30 seconds, but from the point of view of from cinematography and understanding what a camera can do, and working with actors, all those things actually were very beneficial.
But you won a lot of awards, and you had your own company in the end, and you won a lot of awards for your advertising. Why didn't you continue? I mean, what suddenly made you become a film director?
The reason I didn't continue in commercials, Derek, is because of film critics.
Oh, no.
Because I was the first to come from that world, we were very seriously criticised because we were not thought to be the genuine article. And Ridley Scott said to me, "Why are you so sensitive to what these people say about where you came from?" Because Ridley continued to make TV commercials. He still makes them, but he was always interested in money, so that might be the reason. But I wanted to be taken seriously as a serious filmmaker, and therefore I stopped making the TV commercials. It was a reaction to people like yourself, really, who were criticising us. And in a way, I should have been stronger. I should have said, you know, something very rude, but I didn't.
But critics didn't worry about commercials, did they? I mean, we never reviewed commercials.
No, but it was thought that, because, as I say, because I was the first to come from that world, and there are lots of other very good directors who have subsequently come from that world. You know, at the moment, you know, one of the best directors working today, David Fincher, obviously came from that world. You will know Jean-Jacques Arnaud made many, many commercials at the same time as me. You know, when I went to Paris, you know, he said he was known as the French Alan Parker, and I said I'm known as the British Jean-Jacques Arnaud in the world of commercials. But yeah, I think it's okay now. Everybody makes them. Scorsese makes them. Ken Loach makes them. But when we started, it was a different world. They were very compartmentalized. You either came from a legitimate background of theatre or from television and into film, but not from the world of publicity and advertising. That was thought to be rather vulgar.